Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning into this episode of World of Tanks. You see the action has already started because we have Savvy Neuk from Clan ASCII, and he is savvy. He's really savvy on this particular match. He's going to use the serious hold-down capabilities of the Patton, which version? M46, the Tier 9 American medium tank. So the first thing you're going to notice here, and that he noticed on El Haluf, spawning into the northeast, no artillery. Hallelujah. Okay, so this is one of the simplest of the match. They're going to just put a shot right into the hatch of the 103. You're going to see some of the dangdest RNG on this. An absolutely amazing game by Savvy, being very savvy. But going back to the artillery thing, one of the most basic match analysis things to notice is how much artillery you have. So we talk about the team makeup, the enemy team makeup, the match, the mode, your tank, your tier placement, the major things that you want to take a look at while you're figuring out where you can go and what positions you can play within those positions. So this is a pretty standard spot to go, obviously, for medium tanks. Usually everyone's hugging the side of the rocks here. Why? Artillery. If you don't think about it very much, you might find yourself going there anyway in a game where there's no artillery and not using the opportunity to use other terrain that you would not necessarily be able to use if there was a bunch of artillery. And that is exactly what Savvy has done, because he is savvy. He's going to use this nice hold down capability over here and use this terrain. Let's watch him use it because it's a really nice job. Look at that. I don't know if I've ever seen as many shots go directly where they're aimed as we're going to see on this particular game. Look at this. They just every shot goes exactly where he's aiming right here. Watch this. He's going to shift over to the right. Boom. Right there. He doesn't even need gold. I don't need gold. I will pen the object 704 no matter what. That's a slight look down, so he is negating a little bit of the angle on the 704's armor, but he's also aiming slightly to the right on the superstructure, trying to avoid going into the mallet. Watch this. Boop. Right? I don't know, folks. You know, sometimes things are just working for you. He's in a great position. He's playing it well. He's selecting his shots, and they're going in. So fantastic for Savvy right there. But that's a spot that you can't necessarily... This is the only one, I think, that actually goes awry for him. He actually bounces an angled shot right there. Watch this. Boop. Outstanding. But you can't necessarily use this spot if there's artillery. You're going to get pounded. There's still a lot of guys here, and I didn't talk about it, but there were quite a few tanks camping on the red team over by the cap. And if you notice, quite a few of Savvy's guys are hanging out here. Happens to be a lot of TDs on both teams, so they're all up along this ridge looking to get their 2 shots per game in. The 103 is getting pushed back, as is the ISM. The guys are coming around the corner. Savvy's been beating on the KV3. The 704 made a foolish move into the front right there, and all of a sudden they're really starting to break this open. The ISM decides he's going to take some damage finally, or some hit points finally, away from Savvy, but he's getting attacked from 2 directions. Savvy says, let me just track you. And I don't know if he was actually going for the track right there, because it is a little difficult to pin that lower plate, especially kind of look down like he had. But it might have just been a shot didn't go where he wanted to. Boom, right into the T-27. Not a great turret on the Skoda T-27. Not bad, though, at that angle. I think I would have moved up. My only quibble with your game right here, Savvy, is I'd have moved up sooner and kind of pressed those guys on that hill a lot faster than you did. But as it turns out, it's all good. We're up to 4,379 damage. And while it doesn't look like a runaway win at this point, they're in really good shape because there's a lot of low hit point guys here to get cleaned up. They do outnumber them a bit, and they've got him stuffed into the corner here. He comes up looking for a shot on the 44. Kind of forgets maybe that the charioteer was there. Downs him, and now he's down to about a 2 shot. He's going to wait for the 44-100. Boom, down he goes. The other T-44 is trolling around over there. And he's got 4,746 damage. And when he sent me the note, he said, had a great game, was really rolling, then got a little bit overconfident. I thought this might have been the end here, but he ends up bouncing that. Takes down the Skoda with another really well-placed RNG kind of shot. Comes raging around the corner thinking, I'm going to own you all. Nope, they say no. Actually, there's quite a few of us here, so we're going to own you. How about that? He ends up getting a chunk of the... I don't know why the Patton didn't shoot. Oh, he did. There we go. T-44 actually hit him from across the way. and he gets rammed to death by the other Patton right there because he just didn't have a lot of hit points. But a really nice job at 5,892 damage, 250 assists. And I wanted to show you guys this because it was a great example of, and I said it earlier, it's one of the more obvious gameplay analysis kind of ideas, but it serves to show you that there are things that you want to look at the beginning of the game to determine what areas you can use. Now, it's not a big mystery or any kind of great revealing of amazing positioning to say that you should go over here, especially with a nice hold-down tank like the Patton. But how you use it or where you go, the micro positioning within the position is going to be according to the enemy team, according to your team, according to how everybody gets into position and starts shooting. And when Savvy got there, he saw that he was able to use that slightly different angle and use it to great effect for nearly 6,000 damage in there. Bounced a few with the nice turret. It's actually got a pretty decent turret right there. So I thought this was a good example for everybody for kind of a large, obvious one. But that's what you want to do when you load into the game. You look at it. What's my team? What's the enemy team? What map am I on? What mode is it? Where do I think I can go? And what parts of those places that I go do I think I can use most effectively? And what is it about the enemy team or my team or what's going on that may or may not allow me to use those spots? So I thought this was a good, again, a fairly obvious example. But, you know, those guys up on the ridge, I don't know. Sometimes I think people just get in there and they go to the same place, and it doesn't really matter what's on the enemy team. They don't really consider that. And that is what happens when you start to get to that blue to purple gameplay. That is the whole match analysis and reacting to the match, all right? The meta flex. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. Savvy, thanks for sending that in. A really nice game right there. Too bad you died at the end. There was probably some more hit points to be gobbled up there, but your team was rolling and you got the win. That's all I've got for today. Yep, I'll spit it out. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a lot of ways to do so down in the description. Otherwise, we will see ya.